Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith and this is insane cool stuff. This is Instant Music Remix in Adobe Audition. Okay, so the Audition engineers have really done it with with Remix. It's freaking incredible. I've been messing with music since I was 13 years old, and remixes, because I'm originally a drummer and knowing beats, I would painstakingly go in and find beats to try to put stuff together. Well, Audition's Remix has beat detection, source separation for harmonic identification, which basically means one click and you can remix a song. Now, there's lots of ways to tweak that song. The best thing to do is to play with it, and you'll find different results with different settings. So don't expect to go in thinking, oh, with that audio and these settings, I'll get these results. It's all across the board. Let's look at it. That's some examples here. So you bring a song into the multi-track. And to do that, you can right-click and insert into a new multi-track session or another session. Inside Audition, you're either in the waveform view or the multi-track view. And in the multi-track view, you have unlimited tracks. You just keep dragging clips down here. You probably just do one at a time, but I've got several examples to show you. So the top example here, you select it in the multi-track view, and in the properties, if you don't see properties, look for it in the windows, and you'll see properties. And down deep in the bottom here, under all of these, you'll see Remix. Twirl that down and click on Enable Remix. It takes around 4 seconds per minute to calculate this. It's analyzing the clip, it's looking for beat detection and source separation, and writing this metadata to allow us to make some changes. Now, with the advanced turned up, you simply have a new duration. So you can type a new duration in there, and we'll also go into our advanced settings. You'll notice that the waveform has these squiggly lines that look like tape edits. And these are the places that have been cut for this particular track. So if we play these back, I'm going to play just before each one of these. Seamless. Absolutely seamless. Yeah. Absolutely seamless. It got the beat detection in there and broke that up. So why would you do this? Well, for this example here, let's say I just needed a backing track of 30 seconds long, but I wanted it based on that particular song, or somebody handed me a song and said, 30 seconds of this. Oy. Even if this was a temp track, a lot of editors work with temp tracks, and even though they have a song in mind and they drop it in there, they still have to chop things up and mess it around. Man, it's so much easier just to move that around. And remember, we could send our audio, or we could send the whole multi-track project from Premiere Pro over to here. I've got another tutorial on that. Okay, so that is the default settings. So if you twirl this down, you'll notice here that you can see you could stretch to an exact duration. So right now, if I type in 30 dot to make this 30 seconds, because the other numbers are samples, so 30 seconds, it now cuts it a little bit different, and you'll see that the splices are in different places. A shorter version, but it works. So some of the choices that we have down in the bottom in the advanced section are edit length, and this is the default, 158 and 5. The edit length tells the algorithm to favor shorter segments with more transitions or longer segments with fewer transitions. So if you apply a setting and you don't like that many transitions in there, then you can change that value and you'll see that change. So right now we don't mind long, but if we turn it down to short, boom, look at a whole lot more and a completely different version of this song. So you see it's transitioning quicker now to some of those other parts in the song that we didn't hear before by moving one slider. And we went from extreme, from long all the way to short. Songs with a consistent structure and style may benefit from fewer transitions, keeping any changes to a minimum. Now, let's look at the features. We have timbre on the left and harmonic on the right. This algorithm tells you to favor either timbre or harmonic structure when making transitions. For electronic and pop music, timbre, this is going to default more to understanding the beat, the pulse of the song, and trying to keep that as the main focal point of the remix. But if it's maybe more choir-oriented and more ethereal, and you crank it over to harmonic, now it's thinking more about the overall harmonic structure and leaving the beats as less important. Won't leave them out, but they're less important. Let's go and look at the minimum loop. The minimum loop tells Audition the shortest segment you will permit in the number of beats. This can be useful if the algorithm makes short transitions might be mathematically ideal, but might sound unnatural. So you can see that on the left, here's 8 beats, and if we crank it all the way up to the top, 64 beats. We're telling it no shorter than that. And then the bottom one is the maximum amount of slack. And the slack comes in when you're telling remix to an exact time, and by default it's 5 seconds. So that's why there's the stretch to exact duration in there. You might say 30 seconds, but remix is looking at the song saying, the most I can get you is 25 or 42. I can't get you 30 exact based on the tempo of the song and the beats and anything else in the algorithm. So if you add stretch to that, then it's going to do its best to get close, and then it will stretch that based on a musical algorithm. And you won't detect that it's been stretched. It'll just fit right in there perfect. But if you've got some leeway in a song and you're thinking, well, I don't need really 30 seconds, actually 30 to 35 is going to be good, you give it a little bit more slack, and then it has a little bit more of a chance to do a better job of the remix. Let's look at a couple of other examples here. Again, I was trying to pick some identifiable stuff. Again, perfect transition. Pretty natural, and this one was 0, 50, 64, and 5 set on that particular song. Let's go look at something a little bit more dance-oriented. Here's a little bit of Depeche Mode. Let's enable remix on this. It's remixed, and we can see this is 0, 0, 2, and 5. This is what I had set on this particular tune, set to 1 minute. And you can see, again, the transitions in this area. Here comes the transition. Wow. So you see that that synth came in during the beat, during the cut, but that's the exact duration of that particular synth, but it's cut. I mean, I couldn't do a better job myself of trying to find that transition point. And the rest of them, let's listen. It's understood, don't say you're happy. So there's a couple of the verses that are stuck in there. And again, I could tweak that. This is with everything slammed to the left. This is the edit length short, feature more to timbre than to harmonic, 2 beats at a minimum, and 5 seconds on slack. Let's also look at one of Duran's tips. So this goes to Duran Gleaves. He works on the Audition team. Brilliant guy. You've probably seen his blog. I'm going to put a link down there to Duran's blog. He's been with the Audition team forever. Great guy, really smart, engineer. He knows what he's talking about. So this is his tip. So far there's a lot of randomness going on in here. You can control some of it. Occasionally, you might want a specific part of a song to hit the video at a specific spot. And right now, that might be hit and miss. So Duran's tip is this. Line up the music with the video, and like I said, you can import the video. You line up the playhead at that point and cut the audio. So let's go and show you that. So let's say at this point in this video, in this audio, is where you want it to meet, to hit. Now I could grab my razor blade and cut this, or I could go to clip and choose split. Boom. And what is going to happen is Remix will always keep the beginning and the end. So that middle point, it's going to keep that side coming to that edit and the edit and that. So that's already perfect. So if we remix the head and tail instead, okay, so I'll click remixing that part, and we could remix that part at the same time. So you don't touch the middle part. You're just grabbing the outside edges. So let's bring that together. So that matches perfectly. Now instead of changing the values over there on the left, if you go over here on the right hand side, you'll see the little remix. When it's enabled, that overlay shows us remix. So I can take the tail, I can take the head, and now I've got a completely different remix, but that transition point is still perfect. As I'm editing this one, it could very well change the length of that. So I do need to go back inside here and change and butt those up. So changing that, my problem here is as I changed the left-hand side, the right-hand side pushed over. So instead of overlapping that, which you could do, then I want to be able to move that in there. Now, once you get to this point, if you wanted to now have more control, because what's really happening here is there are cuts and transitions and crossfades going on in the background automatically. What if you got really, really close with Remix and then you wanted to have control? Oi, I can't believe they did this. This is incredible. We'll select these clips that have Remix applied, right click, and go to Remix and choose Split Remix Clips into Segments. Boom. So this is not remixed anymore. If you zoom in, you'll see there's the crossfades and each one of the clips that it's set. So I could, at this point, start to move these around and mess with these and do my own edit on top of that. I can't get back to what was remixed. Once you do this, it's pulled everything apart. So you either make a note of your numbers or duplicate that remix into another one. I want to leave you with this last remix example because I think it's really remarkable. Who doesn't like a little bit of Sigur Rós? Damn! So I hope you see how Remix can be a complete enveloping tool to jump into and get things done. Like I said, if you're an editor doing temp tracks, this can save you a ton of headaches. Drop it in, stretch it, output, stick it in Premiere Pro, you're done. If you like to sit in here and tweak and tweak and tweak, and make sure you play around with those advanced settings because the results are phenomenally different. Try a ton of different music and your results, I'm sure, will be pretty darn amazing. Remix in Adobe Audition is an absolute game changer. All right, hopefully you found this informative, and thanks everyone for your wonderful support at Video Revealed. We really, really do appreciate it. If you're new to Video Revealed, please take a moment and subscribe. If you want to take your support for Video Revealed to the next level, support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month would make a huge difference. Until next time, I'm Colin Smith, and it's my job to get you remixed, looking and sounding great.